Hey guys, what's up? Uh, so I have been having a lot of burnout lately, I think is what's going on. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that's it. And um I've just been like overwhelmed. I've had a lot going on and I feel like I've just been running and running and running and spinning my wheels really because I'm not actually making any progress with hardly anything. And I I I don't know why people push each other so hard to always be getting something done. Like not so much for the past few days, but people have been nagging me, I feel like, uh to do more stuff, like to get more stuff done. And I'm I'm really not I think it's everybody's mindset, but I'm really not sure why we have that mindset, or why like the average person has this mindset that you and everyone around you has to be running all the time. It's like it's like we make busyness like an ethical or moral obligation. Like you have to be busy all of the time. And it's not really that we're getting anything, it's not really that we're getting all that much done. Like, if it doesn't really have anything to do with like the progress of the species or anything, it's not really all that helpful for everyone on the planet to be working themselves to death all the time. There's like, have you ever cleaned your house and you realize that most of the things you have to do to clean your house is just throwing things away because we make so much stuff and everything is in disposable containers. It's like everything is disposable. Even even things that you wouldn't think of being disposable are built now to wear out and break down. It's planned obsolescence because they want you to have to buy a new one because we're all competing over money all the time. We're not really competing to progress the human species. We're competing for money. And people act like it is a moral thing because you're working hard and you're bettering yourself and you're learning how to juggle more crap. But when you look at it, is it really that helpful? Like, is the GDP of a country really the best way to measure its success as a group of people? You know what I mean? Like, you can make all the products you want, but at the end of the day, most of the material is just going to go in a landfill somewhere. Like old vacuums, all the plastic. They found a plastic bag at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Um, there's trash in space. It's like, and I'm not. I mean, I am. This chair's squeaky. That's the sound you're hearing. Um, I I have some friends that have some land on the side of the road, like a pretty good bit of it that has roadside, you know, frontage or whatever you want to call it. And people throw trash because it's really hilly. They throw trash over on onto the side of the road, and they roll tires and stuff down the hill. I pulled 82 tires or something out of there one time, out of this, like, hillside. And there's just layers and layers of trash there, because what happens is, because nobody cleaned it up for so many years, and people were using it as basically a dump site, because the dump is kind of far away. Everything's spread out here in rural America. But people would drive by and they would just, toss entire trash bags out the car, on just on the side of the road. And what would happen is, animals would come and rip open the bags to get to the leftovers and all that, and the trash would get strewn out all over the hillside, and then nobody would clean it up, and so all the leaves would fall on top, and it would make like a carpet on top of the trash. And then they would do it again the next year, and so there would just be layers of trash, and then um, leaves, and then trash, and then leaves. And so we would go out there and pick it up and bag it up, and we've probably gone through hundreds of big contractor bags just picking up all this trash. And I look, I'm not, I understand that people need stuff. I understand that people need things, but and I understand that, like, recycling is a thing and all that, but like, if we're not going to build things to last, like you don't really need every container to be disposable. You know what I mean? You can buy a container that's like semi-permanent, that you can use to drink out of or to eat out of or whatever, for a long time. A lot of the jobs are just made up. Like, we're at the point, I think, where we're just trying to find things for each other to do. We're just making up things for each other to do, because you're not allowed to be lazy. And the economic system that we're using, I think personally, is outdated, like everything else we have. The infrastructure, the education system, the justice system, everything, I feel like, is just outdated, because you can look up like what the education when the education system that we have was developed. It was developed to get people ready to work in factories and stuff like that. That was before the internet. That was before AI. That was, I mean, even the education system was outdated decades ago. And when I was in school, they were literally teaching us about the food pyramid, which was debunked forever ago. That was, the food pyramid was put together by all the people trying to sell you these foods. They just put whatever they were trying to sell you in the pyramid. And so I've been thinking a lot lately about how it doesn't really make a lot of sense that everyone is working all of the time to make all of this stuff. And by the way, we could automate a lot of this now. And I know that, like, people's argument is always like, well, they can't afford to buy the robots or to build the robots or whatever. Yeah, sure, man, but like, eventually they're going to be able to, and they might as well just start doing it. Like, there's a way, and it's going to become necessary. A lot of people are about to lose their jobs to AI, and a lot of people are going to start losing their jobs to automation. there's already a ton of automation in the automobile manufacturing industry and a lot of other industries. Like we've been using machines and robots to build things and to clean things and to do all of the things for like a long, long time. There are no like laundresses anymore because we have washers and dryers. We have combination washers and dryers, I think now. It's like we don't really need everybody to be working this much. It doesn't make a lot of sense. People, when like politicians and stuff say that they're creating jobs, they're having to make things up for people to do. I understand some of this is necessary. Like you need people to do some things. It's like man, when you get on the internet and you start talking about a topic, it's like everybody wants to pick apart every single thing you say, and it's like they just people completely forget that you are a human with probably an average IQ. Like it doesn't take a genius to see most of this stuff. You misspeak in things sometimes, and that's normal. Wow, that was really annoying. The cat is knocking things off the table. Hold on. I'm basically running a zoo over here because people keep dropping off strays on the mountain. It is really strange out here. I'm from Florida, and not really rural Florida, but like moving to like a really really impoverished rural area is strange. Like I've learned a lot about how I guess things work or how society works or whatever living out here. There are people out here that are so ignorant and so like they just do not care about anything. It is very very difficult sometimes. They make things pretty difficult out here. A lot of the people, like I get run off the road by people just not paying attention to what they're doing. And there are roads out here that are like a cliff on the side. There is nowhere to pull over if somebody's not paying attention to what they're doing. And cars are expensive. Anyway, I say this half jokingly, but I almost feel like I'm becoming one of those anti work people because it just does not make sense to me why people are working so hard. And like the economy, they say that things are like booming right now, like that things are going well, I guess, in the economy. But I don't think that most people I know are feeling that at all. I think most people I know are struggling pretty bad. Even the pretty well off people that I know are starting to feel it in subtle little ways. Like I have some friends that are pretty well off, and they've been buying a lot of stuff lately because they're getting ready to retire, and their life is kind of changing. And they were buying some tools and stuff that they needed to take care of their property out here, and uh, they ordered some chainsaw chains that came in, and they were just wrong. They were just not the right size, and that was a gnat, sorry. And they said it said on the package what size it was and everything, and it's just they just did not do the quality assurance. They just sent out the product. They bought some like weed eater string that I used because I was helping them with their yard and everything, and it just like fell apart. It did not last very long at all. and it was supposed to be a pretty good brand, and it was just like they make this stuff to wear out because they want you to have to buy more of it. And I think a lot of people that are more well off don't realize the extent of it, like especially at stuff that's marketed to them. Like companies will straight up sell rich people worse stuff because they know that they'll just buy it. And companies will sell you stuff that is subpar, and they know that it's subpar. They know that it's a subpar product because they know that it's not worth it for you to complain about it and go through the process of trying to get it fixed. Everything is so much about money that it's ruining everyone's quality of life. We need to somehow, I guess, on like a grassroots level, I think that as individuals we need to start, um I don't know, as like small communities maybe, we need to start finding ways of making things not all about money anymore. Like the old model, the old the old like conveyor belt of go to school, get good grades, either go to college or go into the military or whatever, and then get a job and work there for 40 years and then retire. That whole conveyor belt just, it doesn't work anymore. It's just falling apart. Nobody cares whether or not you make good grades anymore. College is basically a scam. The I don't know anything about the military because I never went in there. Um, but in jobs, it's like you're not going to stay at the same job for 40 years anymore. You're just not going to do that. It used to be that you would literally stay at the same job probably for 40 years if it was a good job. You know, you would get seniority or whatever so that you could feel special, and then you would retire. And a lot of people now, it's like if they retire at all, they're probably not going to have enough money to live on. It's like you almost have to be well off and have extra money these days to have the quality of life that the conveyor belt was supposed to, that the system was supposed to facilitate for you, you know. And like I don't know the statistics on like how many people are renting and how many people are owning a home or really paying a mortgage on a home, which effectively is the same thing as like renting to own. um it's basically all renting unless you can buy a house outright, which is ridiculous. Like nobody I know has that kind of money except for like a couple of people. So I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about in this video anymore. I was gonna talk about something else, I think, and then I started rambling about this because I really just have been absolutely burnt out. People say a lot of dumb shit, but people say that you you are like in control of your life, you know, and that if your life isn't going well, it's on you. Like it's your responsibility to, you know, fix all this stuff. And I really think that most of those people have just not been through enough, or they they haven't been in a situation really where someone else has wrecked their life, where someone else has just ruined years of their life. That it can happen, like it does happen. Other people also can do things, you know, it's not just you. And I've been feeling a lot lately that I wonder really how much control over all this I actually had. I've been in kind of a, I mean, my depression, I have like major depression disorder or whatever it's called, and complex PTSD and a, probably ADD. I don't know. I'm not diagnosed without it or anything, but, um, it it's gotten a little bit worse lately, the depression, and part of that it might be because I'm pretty sure I forgot to take my meds a couple of days, maybe a few days. I'm not sure, and I've just been really stressed out lately, which makes sense because of the PTSD. But lately, I've just been really stressed out, and I think part of that is you. I, I think you really need to be able to feel like you're making progress in life, especially if you're going through a rough patch. Like feeling like you're making progress, it kind of gives you hope, and you start feeling like things can get better, and otherwise you kind of sink into this like hopelessness because things are just not getting better. And if you keep trying and keep trying and keep trying and things still don't get any better, like you're just spinning your wheels trying to get things done, and it just, you need like a small win, and I've been working on that lately, like getting some small wins. But it just hasn't been going all that well, really. Like I feel like most of what I'm doing, like laundry and um cleaning up and stuff like that, is just like it's gonna get dirty again anyway. Like I'm not actually making any sustainable progress. It's just um like maintenance on things that needs to happen. And I think a lot of people are probably in the same boat, roughly speaking. Everybody has different experiences and different lives and stuff, but I think that a lot of people are probably in the same boat, roughly speaking, right now, because I think for a lot of people, money is just tight and there's not much you can even do about it because of the way that things are, because of the way that the system is, and it's not even necessarily your fault. Um, but people still say, like, uh, you know, it, that if something is going wrong in your life, then it's your fault, and that you just fix it. Like they've never had to, deal with something difficult before. I think a lot of people end up with like what's it called, survivorship bias, where they got through something difficult, and then they think that everybody else should be able to do that too. But they got through something difficult that was specific and surmountable. Even if they didn't feel like it was surmountable at the time, it obviously was, or they wouldn't have gotten through it. And some things really aren't surmountable. Like some things aren't really all that fixable, especially by one person with no help, or a couple of people. I mean, not there's all different kinds of groups and family units and things, but there's this really great quote from Star Trek. I think it was Captain Pickard. I'm not Pickard. Captain Pickard, is that how you pronounce his name? I don't know. I don't watch Star Trek, but I did see a clip and I've seen clips and stuff of it. Like I think I've seen a few episodes or whatever. Um, I think I saw a couple of episodes of the really old one too with William Shatner, and I watched the new movies with I can't think of any of the actors names, but there it did have that one actress from Avatar. I like Avatar, or I like Avatar 1. Avatar 2 was all right, but I'm rambling. There was this good quote from Captain Picard that said something. I don't know what the quote was. I'm paraphrasing, but it was something about you can do everything right and still fail. Uh, and I really like that because it's true. You can do everything right and things still just don't work out. So I don't know what my point in this video was. I just kind of rambled about things going on in my life, but um I hope you're doing well though if you find this video, and hang in there, I guess. Things fluctuate, like things get worse, things get better. Things usually do get better. So I hope y'all are doing well and have a good one, and I'll talk to you later.